In the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, there is a painting that captures the exact moment the modern world was born. It's Jacques-Louis David's The Death of Socrates. The light is cold. The shadows are sharp. Socrates is about to drink the hemlock. But look at his right hand. His index finger is pointing straight up. For centuries, art historians said he was pointing to the gods. But if you look closely, you realize the truth. He isn't pointing to Zeus. He isn't pointing to Apollo. He is pointing to something much colder. The empty, silent realm of pure human intellect. By pointing up, Socrates didn't reach for the divine. He eclipsed it. And in doing so, he delivered the first great wound to humanity.
To understand what Socrates broke, you have to understand the world before him. It was a world saturated with meaning. The gods were not distant creators. They were the thunder. They were the panic on the battlefield. They were the madness of love. If a king made a decision, a god whispered it to him. If a warrior missed his throw, a god deflected the spear. We were the beloved, tormented children of a living cosmos. It was a world of absolute psychological safety. We were never truly alone. Even our tragedies had dignity because they were watched by heaven. But that safety had a price. We were not the authors of our own destiny. We were children. We were asleep.
And then Socrates walked into the sunlit slumber of Athens. He didn't write a single word. He just walked around and asked questions. What is piety? What is courage? What is justice? When the priests and politicians gave their traditional answers, Socrates would gently, relentlessly dismantle them. He showed them that their traditions were empty. This wasn't just rude. It was a radical act of desecration. He took the ultimate authority away from the Oracle of Delphi and placed it on the operating table of human reason.
Socrates demanded that we grow up. He replaced the warm embrace of myth with the cold light of logic. He gave humanity its intellectual autonomy. But by doing so, he made us orphans. He left us alone in a silent, disenchanted universe, forced to carry the crushing weight of our own moral justification. We traded the gods for our own minds.
Nietzsche despised this, not because he didn't understand Socrates, but because he understood him too well. For Nietzsche, Socrates was not humanity's liberator. He was its first great mechanism of repression. He gave us reason as an anesthetic, a way to avoid the unbearable truth that life is fundamentally irrational, painful, and tragic. By making thinking the sole measure of human dignity, Socrates killed something essential. He killed the Dionysian, the dance, the ecstasy, the willingness to look into the abyss without flinching. Nietzsche wrote, Socrates is the prototype of the theoretical optimist who, with his faith that the nature of things can be fathomed, ascribes to knowledge and insight the power of a panacea. A panacea, a cure for everything. We didn't realize that by making human reason the ultimate authority, We were setting a trap for ourselves. Nietzsche saw the trap. He raged against it. And then, 2.5 millennia after Socrates, we poured that trap into silicon.
Today, we are standing on the edge of the fifth and perhaps final wound. Artificial intelligence is threatening to take away our exclusive claim to cognition, the very thing Socrates told us made us supreme. But before we face the machine, we have to understand the wounds that brought us here. Copernicus, Darwin, Freud. This is a 5-part series on the history of human demotion. Because you cannot understand what AI is doing to us until you understand what we did to the gods. The one thing for today, next time you feel threatened by AI, ask yourself, is this Socrates' trap snapping shut? Or is it Nietzsche's hammer finally in your hands? Fear not the AI.